Ever wondered how to find court cases with just a few clicks in Champaign County? Well, let's unlock those secrets today. Whether you're a genealogist digging into family history, a journalist chasing a local scoop, or maybe you just found out you're being sued, knowing how to access judicial records is a seriously powerful tool. So let's just dive right into this explainer on navigating the complex and sometimes wild world of local public records.
It sounds simple enough, right? I mean, you just type a name into a search bar and hit enter. But as we get into this, you'll see that pulling the actual information you need means knowing exactly where to look. Court records are official documents chronicling everything from tiny civil claims and traffic tickets to major criminal trials. Navigating them can honestly feel a bit like a maze, but we're going to make it crystal clear for you.
To guide us, we've structured this explainer into 6 quick sections: the tale of 2 counties, navigating online court portals, understanding court case info, physical courthouse access rules, privacy, access and usage, and finally, an essential legal disclaimer. Let's get to it.
Section 1. The tale of 2 counties. Which Champaign County are you actually looking for?
So the absolutely crucial point here is that failing to tell the 2 completely different Champaign counties apart will instantly lead to dead-end searches and massive headaches. You have to know your geography first. It's a classic fork in the road. You've got to verify if your target court is in the 6th Judicial Circuit of Illinois. That's located in Urbana, Illinois, under Circuit Clerk Susan McGrath. Or are you actually looking for the common pleas and municipal jurisdictions of Ohio? Those are also located in a city called Urbana, but under Clerk Penny Underwood. They share a county name, they share a city name, but trust me, they are entirely separate judicial worlds.
Moving to Section 2, navigating online court portals. Where to start your digital search?
What's really fascinating here is how each state structures its completely unique online databases. For the Illinois jurisdiction, you basically have 3 main digital tools. Step 1 is JANO, also known as Clericus Magnus. That's your go-to for local, non-certified docket lookups by name or case number. Step 2 is the My Champaign Courts app. This is powered by Payette LLC, and it's super handy for pulling up traffic citations or setting up automated court date reminders. And Step 3 is Research IL. Think of this as the massive, centralized Tyler Technologies repository that pulls data from all 102 counties in Illinois.
Now let's jump over to the Ohio jurisdiction. It's a completely different digital landscape over there, splitting searches across 3 totally different systems. For major civil and criminal cases in the general division, you're going to use CourtView. If you want daily dockets from the municipal court, you actually have to head over to the Civica CMI portal. And if your case is being appealed, you'll need the 2nd District Court of Appeals website, so a lot more fragmentation there.
But hey, here is a vital piece of insider information you definitely need to remember. If you're checking the Ohio General Division docket online via CourtView, there is a built-in processing delay. The system takes at least 24 hours to update between a court filing happening and it actually popping up online. So if you're in a rush and need immediate verified information, you literally have to call or go visit the clerk's physical office on North Main Street.
All right, Section 3. Understanding court case info. Decoding the specific dockets and case types.
Finding the database is really just half the battle, right? You also need to decode what you're looking at. Take jurisdiction limits, for example. If you're hunting for a small civil claim under $15,000 in Ohio, or maybe a local eviction case, you specifically need Judge Gregory L. Harvey's municipal court docket. If you search the general division for that, you'll get absolutely 0 results simply because you're barking up the wrong courtroom's tree. And understanding how these records flow is critical, because in the legal world, the clock is always ticking. If you're personally named in an Ohio municipal lawsuit, the timeline is relentless. Day 1 literally starts the moment you sign for that certified mail. From there, you have exactly 28 days to file a formal written answer to the court. If you don't, well, you lose by default judgment, and creditors can immediately move to garnish your wages. Yikes.
Jumping back to Illinois for a second. When you pull up a public case file, there are specific documents you can expect based on the category. Criminal files will give you charging documents and the docket sheet. Traffic cases, they hold the uniform citation and signed pleas. And civil files contain the initial complaint, the defendant's answer, and any ongoing motions. Knowing exactly what lives inside a file really helps you zero in your search.
Okay, Section 4, Physical Courthouse Access Rules. Visiting the courthouse in person.
Sometimes the digital trail just goes completely cold, and you have to inspect the physical documents at the courthouse in either Urbana, Illinois or Urbana, Ohio. Now, in the Illinois Circuit Clerk's office, the file viewing room has some incredibly strict security rules to stop document tampering. The room is under 24-hour video surveillance. Don't even think about bringing in personal cameras or portable scanners. They are strictly forbidden. You also can't take the physical files apart. If you want a copy, you just use a paper clip to flag the page, and the court personnel will copy it for you.
And just a heads up, those copies are definitely not free. If you need a physical page printed by the Illinois court staff, it'll run you $2 for the very first page. The costs do go down for subsequent pages, but man, if you're a researcher pulling a massive 100-page civil complaint, you are definitely going to want a budget for that.
Now, if you're actually involved in a case yourself and visiting the courthouse, the support systems look a bit different depending on the state. For unrepresented folks who might be totally overwhelmed, Illinois provides an actual in-person self-help center open 3 days a week. Ohio, on the flip side, leans heavily into the virtual space, directing self-represented litigants to the Ohio Legal Help website for their forms and procedures.
Moving right along to Section 5, Privacy, Access, and Usage, what you can and cannot see. As an investigator, a journalist, or even a genealogist, it's absolutely vital to remember that not all court records are public property. There are strict boundaries. Without a specific judge's order, you're completely locked out of highly sensitive cases. We're talking adoptions, juvenile abuse or delinquency, expunged files, and, in Illinois specifically, sexual assault cases. You also won't get access to mental health or medical records that might be tucked inside otherwise public files.
So how exactly is privacy maintained on the front end? Well, in Ohio, there is a pretty powerful Supreme Court rule, Rule 45, that explicitly says the clerk is not required to double-check documents for personal info. The burden of privacy is 100% on the person filing the document. If you're submitting paperwork, it is your legal duty to redact Social Security numbers and financial data before it ever enters the public record.
And when it comes to digital access limits, you can't just scrape these databases indefinitely. On the Illinois statewide system, your user category strictly dictates how much data you can mine in a single day. The general public is capped at 300 daily inquiries, but if you're a registered attorney of record, you get up to 1,000 transactions a day.
Finally, Section 6, Essential Legal Disclaimer. This explainer is for educational purposes only.
Before we wrap things up today, we really have to clearly define the boundaries of what this explainer covers. Understanding how to find a record is obviously not the same as knowing how to argue a case. Whether you're dealing with a massive debt collection lawsuit or just researching local history, remember this: courthouse staff in both states are legally prohibited from giving you personalized legal counsel. They can point to a form, sure, but they can't tell you what to write on it.
As the official Ohio materials firmly suggest, this explainer is a great roadmap for finding records, but it is never, ever a substitute for consulting with a qualified legal professional. If you are in a lawsuit, you are held to the exact same standards as a licensed attorney, so getting real expert advice is absolutely paramount.
All right, we've covered the distinct geographies, the online portals, the physical rules, and the privacy limits. Armed with the right portals, rules, and geography, what hidden truths will you uncover in the Champaign County public records today? Dive in, start your search, and see what history or current events you can uncover. Thanks for joining us for this explainer, and happy hunting.